Now, good day. Welcome back to Apostle 1 tutorial. Yes. Now, if today is the first time you are visiting my channel, make sure you tap on the subscribe button, like the video, then you share to many friends. You understand? Yes. This is Apostle. Now, today I'm coming to take you through another topic called combination. Yes. I'm going to take you through combination. Now, pay attention carefully. This is one of the topics in mathematics, and then it is very crucial, very important. Yes, it is very important. Now let's see, when we talk about combination, now that I'm going to wrap up faster. Now let's see, when we talk about combination, what does it mean in mathematics? Now combination, we are talking about when you want to choose or make some selections. Yes, combination is all about selection or choosing. So let's say I've gone to a market, or I've gone to the market, and I have different objects or different items, and I want to choose or select some of the items. Yes, I can. Number of ways that the selection can be done. I have to use combination to do that. Now, if I am in a school, then I go to a particular class, and I want to select two students from the class. I want to call two students from a whole class. I can use combination to do that because I don't know the number of students. I don't know the students. I don't know who they are. I can use combination to do that. Now, if we are in a particular organization and we want to form a committee, and in the committee we need a president, we need a secretary, we need a treasurer, and then other executives. Now let's say we need these three people: the chairman, or the president, let's say the president, the secretary, and then the treasurer. Now we want to form a committee where we want to select these three people to be our leaders. We can use combination to do that. Now combination is very important as mathematics is concerned. Now follow me closely and then let me lead you through. Now, so combination. Now when we talk about combination, now we are talking about ways of selecting or choosing. Talking about ways of selecting or choosing items or objects. Items or objects. Now, if I want to continue with the explanation, I can say that where the order is not important. Where the order is not important. Now it means that the order of, let's say I have A, B, number of ways that this one can be arranged. It is still A, B. The order is not important. Whether B, A or A, B, the order is not important when we come to combination. Don't forget that I've talked about permutation. Go to permutation and go and see the difference between the permutation and the combination, as I said already. Now, let me move on straight away. Now, so the key things you need to know here is that one, combination is all about choosing. When you want to choose, or selection. A. Selection. And then two, order is not important. Order is not important. Order is not important. Yes, that is the one you're supposed to know. So anytime you see when we are selecting or when we are choosing anything from a set of objects, we are talking about combination. Now, this particular combination, I will lead you through some areas under combination. Yes. Now, I'm going to lead you through one. Normal combination. That is when we are selecting different objects. When I'm selecting a particular quantity of objects from a whole set of objects. You get it? So when I'm selecting from, so let's say I am selecting selection from n different objects. I'll talk about when I'm selecting from or selection from n different objects, meaning this n here represent the set of objects or total or the number of what objects. Now too, I will talk about with replacement and without replacement. I'll talk about with replacement and then without replacement. Then the third one, I will talk about conditional. I'll talk about conditional combination. Now with all these things, I'll lead you through nicely. Don't worry. Now don't forget that I did some explanation in the permutation. You can go and watch that one. Yes. Now when you talk about conditional, that is when they give you some particular restriction. Let's say, yes, some particular restriction when we are selecting. Yes, that okay, you can select from the whole class, but don't include the class referred. That one is a restriction or a condition given. Yes. Now we can select from, let's say, this 5 people, but this particular boy is stubborn. When you are selecting, don't include him. So when it happens like that, our selection becomes conditional or restricted. Yes, I'm going to lead you through. Now let's move on. Now the first one I'm going to talk about, if I am selecting, if I am selecting, if I am selecting or choosing R objects. Now I am selecting R objects or R items from a set of n different objects. Now, do you understand what I'm saying? I am using myself an example. I have a set of objects, a set of n different objects, meaning I don't know the quantity of objects. The n here represents the number of what? That number of different objects. Now, the R here represents my selection. Let's say we have 10 objects, meaning n is equal to 10. And I want to select 2 from the 10, meaning the R is equal to 2. How am I going to do it? Yes. So, if I am selecting or choosing R object from a set of what? N different objects. Now, if I am doing that, then the number of ways, don't forget that since we have selection or choosing, meaning we are talking about combination. Now, the number of ways this can be done is given as, now the number of ways this can be done is given as n combination R. So the C means combination, the N means the any different object, and then the R means my selection. Yes. So the number of ways this can be done, the number of ways I can do that particular selection, the number of ways I can select R object from what? N is given as n combination what? R. Now this one can also be written as this. Now, when you see something like this, the same thing. This one also is same as n combination R. Now, on the calculator, it is written as NCR. On the calculator, you see something like this. Now, so when you see something like this, they are all the same. Yes. Now, what am I saying? Now, combination also has a formula just like the permutation. So the moment I have n combination R or I have n combination R, now this one is the same as n factorial divided by R factorial multiplying n minus R all factorial. Now this one becomes a formula for combination. Now this and this depends on how you're going to do it. Yes, because you can bring this one and this one are commutative, so you can multiply it anyway. Now this r factorial is multiplying n minus r factorial. What is our n? Our n is this one. Our r is this one. Now when the r is either greater than or equal to n. Now just like the permutation, the r is greater than or equal to what? It is less than or equal to n. It means that, let's say n is equal to 5. Now what is n? Let's say n represents total students in a class. I have a class containing 5 people, so n is equal to 5. Now I want to select something. Now I want to select 2 from the class. I want to select 2 people from the class. You know that the reason why I said r is less than or equal to n is that now if I have 5 students, I can't select 6. I can't select 6 because I have 5 people. How can I select 5 from? How can I select 6 from the 5? It can't be possible. You understand? Yes. So most of the times, this one, the r is never greater than the n. Yes, the r can never be greater than the n, but the r can be less than the n. That is, if I have 5, I can select 1. I can select 2. I can select 3. I can select 4. At the same time, the r can be equal to n. It means that I can select the same 5. Yes. Now, since we are selecting items, I have 5 items and I want to select 2. I want to select 1. You know, I can't select negative number. You get it? And the same way, I can't say that my number of selection is negative. So because of that, the r and then the n are always positive whole numbers. N and R are always positive whole numbers. Keep it in your mind because sometimes we have equation involving combination, just like the permutation. Go and watch the permutation. So when you solve a question and you get N or R to be 0, N to be fraction, negative number, you don't have to consider that. Yes, because we don't have negative or fractional selection. You get it? Yes. Now follow me closely. I'm going to lead you through on how we can solve some questions. Now listen. Now, so from here, so as I was saying, if I have a class, number of people containing what? 5 students, and I want to select 2 students from the 5, then the function will be n combination r, where the total is 5, and then the number of selection is 2. Now, so with this one, you can use this particular formula. You can use the formula, you substitute, or you can also use the calculator. Yes. Now, so for now, let me use the formula, then we go. Now, there's a number of ways I can do my selection. So I'm going to have 5 factorial, because it's n factorial, divided by r. The r is 2 factorial. Now, multiplying n is 5, minus r is 2, combination. Now, I don't use calculator, so I'm going to have 5 factorial divided by 2 factorial. Then 5 minus 2 is the same as 3 factorial. Now, in expansion, you remember that in the previous video permutation, I talked about how you deal with a factorial. Yes, I said that when you have n factorial, it is the same as n multiply n minus 1. You reduce it by 1. You reduce it by 2 up to the last one. The last one is supposed to be 1. The last but 1. So here the same as 5 times 4 times 3 times 2 times what? 1. Now all divided by 2 factorial is the same as 2 times 1. 3 factorial is the same as 3 times 2 times 1. Now so at this point you can do your cancellation. At this point you can do any cancellation that you want. Now so at this point I can say that this and this will cancel this. I'm going to have 5 times 2 times 1. I'm going to have 5 times 2. Yes, I'm going to use this one to cancel this one. Now 3 will cancel the 2 going to this one. So I'm going to get 5 times 2 to give you 10. Now, so it means that it means that if I have 5 people and I want to select 2, I have 10 ways I can do my selection. Yes. And this is what? Combination. Now let me give you one simple example, then I'll move on to the next topic, the next way, so that we solve some equations before I'll come back to the application part. Yes. Now if I have a class, now in a class of 10 students, if 4 students are now in a class of 40 students, if 4 students are to be selected from the class, meaning we have a total of 10 students and then we are selecting 4 from the class, yes. And then we are looking for a number of ways this can be done. Now, at this particular point, I have n is equal to 10, representing the total number of students in a class. Then I will have r is equal to the number of selection. Yes, the number of selection is 4. Now, so since this one is about selection or choosing, I need to use combination. So this one is same as n combination r and n combination r. So this one I'm looking for the number of ways of selection. So number of ways this can be done is n combination r. What is n? N is 10, combination r, r is 4. Now, so this one is same as what? We are using the formula n combination r is equal to n factorial divided by r factorial n minus r all factorial. So it means that n is 10, so 10 factorial divided by r, it is 4 factorial, multiplying n, which is 10, minus r, which is 4 factorial. Now, what are you going to get? We are going to get 10 factorial divided by 4 factorial, multiplying 10 minus 4 is 6 factorial. Now, so with this one, if I don't want to use a calculator, I can make it 10 times what? 9 times 8 times 7 times 6 factorial. Now, I'm ending at 6 factorial because I have 6 factorial here. Now, divided by 4 times 3 times 2 times 1. 4 factorial is 4 times 8 times 3 times 1. Multiplying 6 factorial. Now, 6 factorial will cancel 6 factorial. 4 go into this one 2 times. 3 go into 9 3 times. Now, these two go into this one 1 time. So I'm going to get the whole thing to be 10 times 7, which is equal to 70 ways. 70 ways. Now you can punch into the calculator. If you have 10 combination 4, wait to. Now I'll have 10, okay, times 3. I have 3 here, don't forget. I have 3 here, times 3 times 7. So I'm going to get 10 times 21 times 10. I'm going to get 210 rather. I nearly forgot this 3. So I'm going to get 210 ways. Now this one means that if I have a class and then a class of 10 students, I want to select 4. Number of ways this can be done is 210 ways. Now another example is if I have a football team. You know, football most of the times contain how many players? It contains 20, either 24 or 25 players, you understand? So if I have football team containing 24 players. Now, how many players supposed to be on the field? Yes, the player that's supposed to be. Now, this one includes the goalkeepers. Now, the player that's supposed to be on the field is 11. You get it? So, I'm going to select 11 players out of what? 24 players. So, selecting 11 players meaning our R is equal to 11. You get it? Yes. So, therefore, number of ways that this selection can be done is n combination R, which is 24 combination 11. So we have 24 factorial divided by 11 factorial multiplying 24 minus 11 factorial. This is so simple. So we have 24 factorial divided by 11 factorial. Now what is 24? This one gives us 18 factorial. Now with this one, you can just be punching a factorial in a calculator. Yes. Because after I'm not going to use. So we have 24 combination 11. Now if you know that you can't find a combination, check through your calculator. You will see something like what? NCR. And before you can get NCR, you need to press the shift before you can get the NCR. Yes. Now if you know that you still can't find it, you can contact me on WhatsApp. Then I'm going to show you how I'm going to do it. Okay. Now, now this one will give us 2, 4, 9, 6, 1, 4, 4 ways. These are a number of ways you can solve. When you point this on top, you're going to get this. Yes. Now this is just the overview of permutation, a combination. Yes, I am coming to solve some equations involving what? Combination. Yes, then I'll move on solving some equations involving permutation and what? Combination together before I'll move on to the actual applications. So follow me closely. I'm here to make mathematics so simple for you. This is Apostle 1 from Infantipim School. No. See you in the next video. Bye.